Welcome back to The Great Journey.
The Great Journey.
We are six friends dedicated to re-exploring the vast universe of Halo one installment at a time. We'll be covering the books, graphic novels, films, and of course, the games. We'll be discussing, learning, and reminiscing along the way. Just like the yin to the yang, Season 2 has gone the way of Rob to Jim. My name is Robby, and I will be back in the host chair tonight, and probably not for the last time. So please say hello to my fellow hosts, James, Will, Charlie, and Jim. Tom has gone silent mode Charlie. Maybe we will hear from him tonight. Stay tuned to find out. Last episode, we opened the pages on Oblivion, Book 2 of the Master Chief series, where we discussed chapters 1 through 6. Let's get refreshed. Following the success of Operation Silent Storm, the Covenant are back with a vengeance. Human worlds are falling almost daily, and the UNSC and the Spartans are scrambling to stop the onslaught. Oblivion opens to a group of militia fighters on planet Mesra, where Blue Team is tasked with preventing the Covenant from capturing a vital mine. Springing an ambush on the alien ground forces, the battle quickly turns deadly, and the Spartans are forced to abandon the planet. However, they are quickly rerouted as they are needed on a new mission to capture a downed Covenant freighter and steal any valuable tech before the Covenant arrives. His screams trap, and sure enough it is, as Nazak Kavorsi enters Book 2 on a rogue redemption arc. We learn that the prophets have sentenced him to die for his failures, but he kills his assassins and fled High Charity with 2 luminal beacons. He will use the Forerunner devices to track the humans back to their homeworld and finds the brains behind the human enemy, the location of Oni headquarters. Part 2 of Oblivion upcoming, but first, let's get schooled in this week's
Actually.
This section serves as our chance to get any unresolved questions answered and or correct anything we might have said in error. We're learning as we go along and strive to get the facts straight. So let's start with a correction. Jim had previously brought up the age of Kavorsi, stating the book had estimated his age around 100 Earth years old. This led to a discussion of lifespans of Covenant creatures, but as for Kavorsi, born August 23rd, 2470, according to Halopedia, he would be 55 years old at the beginning of Oblivion. So close, but not quite. Maybe if you round up. Also, a question raised from the last episode. Stopping back in on High Charity, we were introduced to the new prophet trio of Truth, Mercy, and Regret. Tom had asked what had happened to the previous prophets that were ousted. Unfortunately, we've scoured the internet and cannot find any definitive outcome of the previous prophet trio, which served the Covenant in the 23rd Age of Doubt. As a refresher, there were the prophet of tolerance, the prophetess of obligation, and the prophet of restraint. The prophet of restraint was involved with a scandal of having a child when he was not allowed, and the vice minister of tranquility claimed the child as his own to convince restraint to step down. So the fates of the previous prophets are left to the imagination. So as we proceed through Halo Oblivion, we are going to be discussing the chapters 7 through 12. Starting off with chapter 7, we entered with Commander Amelia Petrov's perspective at the crash site of Night Watch. She's surprised at the quick response of the Covenant defense and knows she does not have much time to evacuate the vessel. Before she departs, she arms the Prowler's self-destruct protocol, effectively making her death the trigger to ignite the Fury megaton bomb on board. John checks on her and grabs spare water tanks for the hot conditions outside, and they depart for the Covenant frigate. Chapter 8, Blue Team, Petrov, and the Marines push on through the desert of Netherop in search of shelter, but by now the Covenant have reached and are likely searching the Prowler, and Petrov plans to destroy the ship and its capturers. With shifting sand and landslides threatening to engulf them, John orders Fred to ascend a nearby mountain and trigger any avalanches before they shelter. Shifting perspective to Fred, he climbs higher and higher into a thick cloud cover. Using grenades and rockets, he begins to blow any loose rock on his descent. The planet appears to have remnants of civilization. They are traveling down some sort of ancient highway, and as he moves on, he notices perfectly laid tracks along the mountainside, and further on, he glimpses the figure of large arachnid through the thick cloud of dust. From on top of the mountain, he directs Blue Force to a culvert that they can hide before he is suddenly notified on comms that he is out of time. Covenant are departing Night Watch and the bomb must go now. Just then, he sees two human figures, what appears to be children, when the nuke detonates and he is engulfed in the shockwave.
Oh,
Yeah.
humans on this desert planet that was supposed to be uninhabited. What do we think about this?
It's a Frumman.
Yeah, it's more Lisan al Gaib.
Yeah.
Lisan al Gaib.
I was trying to like waffle it up to you, Jim, because this is totally going the way of Dune.
But later, I'm not going to spoil it yet. But later, it turns into a ripoff of another story almost.
Yeah, are we thinking one with hot rods in the desert?
Yeah, potentially.
Yep. Okay. It rhymes with schmad schmacks.
Hmm.
Okay.
Pretty interesting. I did not see I thought it was going to be like some weird Covenant thing, but the fact that it's potentially humans was really intriguing to me. I did not see that curveball potential.
Yeah, neither did I. Especially with the vehicle they were using, I was like, "What are these people?"
Yeah, spider things. Yeah, right. What the fuck are these spider things?
Yeah, and Fred was saying before the big nuke explosion too that he saw the kids coming out of this like arachnid massive vehicle, right? I mean, it almost got me thinking like, oh, is this like some ancient forerunners that could be somehow just hanging out on Netherop for years and years and years? I mean, there's this road, they've got this big contraption. It just seemed kind of weird.
That's definitely where my mind went first. Are we stumbling upon some old Forerunner stuff? Obviously there were signs of civilization here before, so I definitely think that's where I guess I agree with you, Robby. That's where my mind went immediately. So
In the last chapters that we read, did it go into them like inserting into the planet, or is it just like cutting to the Prowler crashing? I'm trying to remember.
you mean from last episode, like where we left
Yeah,
off?
from last episode. Yeah.
Basically, Blue Team was like on board Night Watch, and yeah, basically the like Petrov was flying down into the planet and getting chased and shit, and then they basically had to like kind of like crash land almost.
Oh,
That's where
okay.
they left off. On that point, we obviously read like a handful of chapters every episode, right? And I was just like, huh, we somehow end on this like perfect cliffhanger, to set it up for next week or whatever, And then I'm just realizing that every single chapter is essentially like a mini cliffhanger. Do you realize how it kind of is written?
That is true.
way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good writing, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair. But I guess on the note of the writing, he has to describe this planet and describe like the issue of them having to scale this mountain and what's happening. I kind of realized that I was having issues like trying to picture exactly what he was writing the whole time. He writes it very quickly, and then like he'll mention something like I think it was like Fred like noticed something through the fog, and then he just kind of like pushes that aside for a little bit and describes other things. I'm like, wait, what? I had to like go back and like read the sentence. Like, wait, he just noticed something, and why are we not talking about that right now? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys had any like issues like trying to kind of follow, picturing in your mind and following along that way. If you guys felt that way or not.
Yeah, I felt like at times it's like, wait, did I miss something? There's times I have to just like go back and just like go over it again. And I'm kind of glad I'm in the same boat as you, Charlie, because yeah, there's sometimes it's like, okay, I didn't actually miss anything, but yeah, it just does seem a little.
Is it like just like a barren landscape, like rocky planet, or I know they describe something that's like a plant, small mineral thing.
Yeah, I thought they described some kind of plants or trees at some point, but I don't think it's like a super densely forested place.
I mean, I guess you guys asking these questions is just kind of proving my point. Where just like he's so descriptive, but still, like it's hard. It's almost hard to
Kind of
follow,
visualize. Yeah.
visualize, especially when he's talking about these like mountains and stuff, and like they need to go into this crevasse to hide, but like suddenly Fred's going up the mountain for some. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm trying my best to follow along with, I guess, the description of this native planet. So
Yeah. I feel like when we're like still with the Marines, in my mind I was picturing kind of like a jungle kind of thing going on. But then later on, when it's just the Spartans and they're like chasing the spider machine, I was just picturing like just rocks and no vegetation.
I guess we do agree on that. It's a very barren desert-like planet, but yeah, as you said, we're gonna see some sort of plants there too in the next few chapters. No spoilers, but I think it's cool that we switched perspective to Fred for a hot second here. I don't think we've really done that with any of the Spartans, really. Usually it's in the perspective of Chief, and maybe
Yeah.
getting like updates from Linda, Kelly, Fred throughout the mission. I don't recall a specific chapter where it was in their perspective, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I actually really like Fred. I feel like out of everybody in Blue Team, he probably has like the most amount of personality, him and Kelly.
I agree with that.
Yeah, he definitely seems like the most comic relief guy there.
I was gonna say a sense of humor. Yeah, we're just getting more of him, I think, in this book specifically so far. So
Yeah, so shall we move on?
Yeah.
So, Chapter 9, John, Kelly, and Linda are blown into the culvert, the Marines falling on top of them. When the dust settles, they climb their way out and await recovery pelicans. John locates Fred, who explains what he saw before the explosion. The rest of the team is skeptical but agree to search for the mysterious children and their mechanical spider. Meanwhile, the recovery pelicans appear but are suddenly blown out of the sky by pursuing banshees. Blue team destroys the craft, and luckily, the explosion blows a piece of the spider directly at them. Fred is vindicated of his questionable observations, but now there is a bigger issue. Blue Force is now stranded in the desert with 50 kilometers still to go. Petrov makes her decision. Blue team must push on alone and complete the mission. Reluctantly, John accepts. In Chapter 10, Blue team traverses the desert of Netherop, following the curious Forgotten Highway in the direction of the Covenant freighter. Scouting ahead, Kelly brings the team to a halt when she finds out-of-place rocks. Suspecting they are range markers, Blue team splits and recons the area. John ascends the ravine and notices fresh trails through the nearby foliage. They follow the trail until they come upon a group of children. They notice the Spartans and scatter, but one group attacks them on board their spider machine. They use a microwave weapon that freezes Fred's armor, and John becomes pinned under their machine. Kelly is able to drive them off, and Blue Team chases them down and captures them. Questions ensue, and the Spartans learn that they speak English, do not have any elders, and that their ancestors long ago became marooned on the planet. John begins to build their trust by offering to fix their wounds when Linda announces that the other native children are making their way to the Covenant vessel.
oh yeah, now confirmed. It's just children on this planet, hanging out alone on this
Yep.
planet. What do you think about this?
Is it Covenant? So basically they're they talk about what is it, like the cave cities or something like that. Like, what is that? Is that Forerunner? Is that something else? Like, where are these spider machines from?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I
I feel
want-
like that's what they're alluding to, is that this is like potentially Forerunner stuff. That's what I felt like, that it is supposed to be
Okay.
that.
Yeah, but in the story they haven't full on said it yet. But yeah,
There's
I do
definitely-
think
we-
they're alluding to Forerunner.
Yeah, we can agree that there was something even before these people that got marooned on the planet, right? They took shelter, like Will said, in some sort of cave system. There's massive highways that I don't think some marooned people are gonna building highways. There's something else going on here than just these people stranded on this planet, kids stranded on this planet. Jim, you listened to the audiobook, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
What sort of dialect do they put on these children?
On the
that are
kids,
talking?
they are just like a straight, like American accent. They don't really give them much of a twang or anything.
Yeah, just
Like,
bratty kids.
little
Yeah,
punk fucks.
yeah. There's
That's
little right.
funny.
It's like the whole setup there is like a cross between like the Peter Pan Hook movies with like Robin Williams with like Rufio is what I'm picturing, and
Yeah.
like a Lord of the Flies situation.
Oh my god. All right.
Sucks to your asmar, sucks to your plasmar. Oh shit.
I have that written down. I have that written down later. You'll see. Literally what
Oh,
you
nice.
just said, but yeah, it's curious, I guess. And not only are they capture these kids, they're like bratty little assholes, when they get captured. And
Chucking rocks at him
yeah,
and shit.
Well, you know why, right? I guess the book really hasn't said too much about their past. I did
Yeah, we're gonna
some
get there.
digging on Halo. Yep, exactly.
At
But yeah,
first
they're little a-holes.
at first they think like they're not even human, like the Spartans.
yeah, it's hard. I think it'd be hard to believe, that these kids would be able to live out there in these harsh conditions by themselves. And I assume they made this contraption, or are we thinking that they found this contraption and are just utilizing it? It seemed to me like they made the spider thing.
Right? You think they made the spider thing?
That is what I thought too.
Oh, I
could have
got
thought.
the impression that they just found it and figured out how to use it.
I guess we'll
That's
get
an interesting thought.
we'll get
but
more description on it in another chapter. But it seems like it's like kind of like a hastily.
Because initially they're vague about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a not hastily, but just like they took parts of pieces and what they had, made it into a thing. It's literally runs on coal, right? That's not something I think the forerunner. I think the forerunners are past coal.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm thinking. Like, are these forerunners or is this something else?
Something else.
Because John's like, when they're trying to repair it, they're like, why wouldn't they just power it directly with whatever? Like, I don't know exactly the words, but I was like, why don't they power it directly with a battery instead of using like steam to
like
charge up the battery? And he's like, well, they're aliens. We don't really know how aliens think. I mean, something along those lines is what John thinks.
Could be like very early forerunner cities, and then they finally got technology to blast out of there and like screw this place. This place sucks.
yeah, I mean, let's read along. I think we get there. But I do think the spider itself is not forerunner tech. Like, I don't think that was a forerunner artifact. That was just like being able to be repaired and powered on. I think they scrapped that together.
That's fair. Anything else here, guys?
Well, let's move on and kind of
Oh,
uncover a little bit more about this.
there was
Or you got something, Charlie?
yeah, there's one thing I wanted to bring up just in case. It's one of those situations where like if they put it in, then you got to think it might be, or there's a reason they put it in for a later thing, right? Do that in movies and shit. So these kids have this microwave weapon and they use it on Fred, and it basically like rebooted his entire suit to the point where he like froze and he was taken out of action, right? When they did this to him. So I guess it's an upfront like example of like a major Achilles heel, like, in a way of saying, of the Mjolnir suit, right? That you can just blast it with a microwave and it has to like freezes itself, So I wonder if that might like be an issue.
Yeah, that is a good point. I found the use of microwave being interesting. I also don't know how that kind of like what would trigger a electronic suit to kind of, I don't know. Like that whole thing that part's interesting. But it made me wonder like why doesn't the Covenant use like EMPs or some other thing to disable these like clearly like mechanical suits that the humans are wearing.
We've been in situations, like for example, Silent Storm. They blew up. They were like in the Banshee. The Spartans were in the Banshees, and then the EMP exploded.
Yep.
And it turned the Banshees off, right? Like it screwed the electronics on the Banshees, but didn't shut down their power or their armor. So I mean,
Yeah, maybe they got
For
somewhat shielded by that, but yeah, no, that's fair.
yes, yeah, it's a situation that we have not seen before that happened to Fred, and I'm the guy that's thinking like ahead, like why would they put that in the book right now? Like, what's the point of that? Could be no point, but usually there's a point. So just gonna throw that out there.
Maybe it's kind of calling out to again more of this like piece together like forerunner tech. And though we call it like a microwave weapon and maybe it does shoot like actual microwaves out, maybe that is like I don't want to say it's like futuristic for what the Covenant and human are like, but that could be alluding to something like that where it's like, okay, the reason why this is the first time this has happened to the Mjolnir armor is because like the Covenant doesn't have that capability yet. I don't know. It could be something like that.
Now you're on the it's Forerunner tech train. You were not on that train
No,
earlier.
I have a feeling the whole planet is a forerunner planet. I just don't think the spider itself is directly forerunner tech.
Gotcha. We'll see. Good predictions here.
continuing on, chapter 11, we go back to the Covenant and on board the Corvette Quiet Faith as that assesses his current situation. Humans are proceeding to the bait as planned, but the process is taking longer than expected, and his available spacecraft continue to be destroyed. Dan Lucosi enters and provides his commander an option. Allow the human Marines to take the bait while they use their Banshees to dispatch the Spartans, effectively taking two birds with one stone. Azat is impressed and prepares to put Lucosi in charge until news comes from the bridge. The Covenant fleet has just arrived to the planet and are there to bring an end to Cavorsi and his rogue crew. Now stuck between his own Covenant and the humans, Nizat pivots. Quiet Faith will now fill in as the bait, bringing the luminal beacons to the humans, pressuring the Spartans to attack, and all the while effectively staying ahead of the Covenant bounty hunters. Chapter 12. Blue Team continues the rest of the way on board the cast-off children's spider crawler. Leader of the small band of children, a girl named Lena, bickers with John, or Jan according to her, who can't help but feel like she would make a good ODST recruit. John tricks her into admitting that the rest of the cast-off band are making for the Covenant frigate, and it is important to Blue Team to get there first. That is until the spider crawler breaks down. To make matters worse, it appears that Covenant vessels are already making for the freighter and will be upon the arriving UNSC recovery vessel soon. John is pushed for time. He orders Kelly to hide the children and catch up with the rest of the team, while the others must make the rest of the distance on foot. With that, they go radio silent.
Left on a cliffhanger again.
Yeah, with that, that's the end of our readings
Wow.
tonight.
Anybody else think that like Nizat's plan is kind of like harebrained? Like he's gonna take the luminal beacons to the Spartans.
Yeah, and then to add on to that, it seems like Tam Lucosi is just as harebrained as he is. They're almost thinking like together, like almost completing each other's sandwiches, guys.
Energy
Yeah.
sources.
Come on, you missed it.
Sentences, sandwiches.
Oh shit! I have my mic muted. I said sandwiches. Damn it! I knew it, Charlie. I knew it. I want credit.
Okay. Yeah, no, Will, I agree with you that this plan is slowly falling apart, and I guess we're supposed to think that Vorsi is smart and he's kind of staying ahead of the ball here, but he sounds like he's scrambling, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I feel like we know enough about Covenant culture where, dude, even if they brought him a bunch of dead Spartans and they brought him the destruction of Oni, they're still gonna get executed for treason no matter what. Like that's the impression I would get from the Covenant culture.
Oh, totally, right?
Are you saying that he's doing this just out of hatred of the Spartans, or
I'm saying that faced with death, he concocted this crazy plan to rationalize him, running away and trying to find a way to earn back his life when, like I said, from what I feel like I know about Covenant culture, like he's dead no matter what he brings back to the prophets.
well,
He stole 2 luminal beacons. He got the other one destroyed, which was what was he got sentenced to death to the first place. Like I honestly feel like no matter what he like, let's just say everything goes perfectly to his plan, they would still kill this guy without a doubt.
so let's break this down. If redemption is not
Yeah.
in his cards, like you said, he's not gonna be able to fill back into a normal life inside of the Covenant. You think he's proceeding with this whole plan just out of revenge to Spartans? Do you think he just
De-
hates the Spartans?
delusion.
Delusional?
Yeah, I think he's totally delusional. And that goes back into like his harebrained plan to be like, oh shit, they're here to get me. We gotta change up our plan totally. He's like, I have to go down there myself. We're going down there
Yeah,
together.
the plan changed like 3 times in the matter of 6 pages. But
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he was really, like, ready for this, right? Like, how long was he on Nethrop for?
he was kind of floating around watching things happen, I guess. He was there ahead of Night Watch showing up, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah,
wasn't he exiled there?
He's trying to capture a Spartan to
yeah.
bring as a prize to the Covenant.
He escaped there.
He was sentenced to get killed. He kills the executioner and he escapes with, his commanders to this mission to see if he can, destroy Oni and get back favor with the prophets and like I said, like earn his life back. I think that's what's going on.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm kind of with you, Will. Except I do think there's probably like a 0.1% chance that the prophets would be like, "All right, yeah, you got us, the Spartans. We're gonna win the war, so yeah, you're cool now."
You
But
gotta
yeah,
play yeah, I was gonna say, you gotta play
it's either 100% death or 99.9% death.
yeah, like, you gotta play with the honor and the religion cards here, right? You gotta play the prophet cards of, like, "Look, for the religion, we destroyed our enemy and here's more religion stuff."
Yep.
That's the only way out.
Yeah, but
But they could just be doing this for, honestly, honor, right? Like, regardless of, what might happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he definitely thinks that like, oh yeah, I've faced these Spartans before. Like I at least know more than anybody else how they think. Like why execute me now? I don't think he's that wrong in that kind of aspect.
Oh, I feel like they'd send some people to go chase him down and get the two. What did I forget the name of the artifact things that he has? Because those are like really
Luminal
valuable.
beacons.
Yeah, the beacons. Those are really valuable for the Covenant,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I feel like that'd be the move that the rest of the prophets would have to make. I feel like it would be just a bad idea to be like, okay, well, he got one over on us, so let's see how his plan works out, and just let him do it.
oh, see, they guys
And
sent the
and to assassins.
they sent the fleet of swift justice to capture Zed. So they want to do it swiftly, okay? Otherwise, it would just be the
Yeah,
fleet
okay.
of justice. So
Just justice.
Yeah.
they want to do it quickly.
All right, so the name's a little on the nose with their special operation.
Yeah, same with all the other Covenant names.
Okay.
But is it going to be ironic and is it going to be not swift justice?
Oh,
Could turn out to be no justice at all,
No justice at all. Ooh.
but quickly.
low injustice.
Well, moving on to kind of the back to Netherop, catching back up with Blue Team, I was just thinking about this while listening to these parts. It just seems so funny that when Team would just go in their own chat, and like this Lena girl just like throwing rocks at him, like, "What are you doing? Respond to me! I'm talking to you."
Yeah.
And she was saying on the whole spider contraption, like, were you sleeping? Like, you weren't moving. It just seems funny, just like kind of actually picturing how, because we always like see or hear like all the John's chats with Blue Team and whatnot, and he can't. They say things in secret, but now I'm just starting to picture like just this like big rod of a man in a big space suit, just standing there, just not doing anything, even though he's in a full conversation. It just seemed kind of funny picturing that.
That's fair. Yeah, it's an interesting character, this Lena. And I mean, John basically straight up says that, like, oh, she seems like a tough kid. She'll be perfect for the ODST program. Like, that's literally a sentence in the book, right? And now my brain went to think like, all right, so this is going to be a character in some future installment, I bet you.
I thought the same thing.
Yep.
I think John said something like she might be ODST's tough.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, maybe she's a future. Maybe she comes back, in another book or something as an ODST, or maybe a Spartan 4 or something.
Yeah.
Or after they pitch her, she comes in with those microwave bursts and fend off the Zat and Lukosi, saves John from them.
Got a lot of hypothesis here. We still have a third book, so who knows?
Yeah, the cave cities. That's what they're referred to. They were marooned, which apparently is like it's really terrible. Like it's outlawed because it's such a terrible punishment to do to somebody.
Let's put an asterisk, or I guess not an asterisk, I guess, but it did say that like their ancestors or their parents or whoever it was, they were technically pirates, right? So they were like they were
Yeah.
preying on vessels coming through, freighters coming through, and they were attacking these freighters. And then I think they kind of, they got their comeuppance in a way.
Weapons.
Yeah. And somebody said, you're not going to get justice. We'll just put you down on this planet and leave you forever. So doesn't obviously make it okay for these kids, but like,
What kind of pirates have kids though?
they probably had them after they were marooned here, I'm guessing.
Oh, that seems even more irresponsible.
They're pirates. They do what they want.
They gotta
Jeez.
build up the Mad Max universe.
I know.
Can't do that without kids.
I guess yeah.
Even-
you got to be you got a pretty poor impulse control to be a pirate. I guess.
Even Max was a child at some point, right? So
I'm almost thinking that these pirates just like crash landed at some point in the Netherop, and they couldn't make it out, so they're like, well, we gotta just make it here, and basically just telling this story as the kids, like, yeah, it's not our fault that you were born here, like, we're abandoned here, marooned.
Oh, that's possible. Which, okay, like, is it weird that no parents have survived? Only the kids have survived?
That's what they make it sound like.
Yeah, that part's weird. I don't get that yet.
Which is why again I'm picturing was it the Lost Boys? Isn't that what it's called? Their little group from the Hook movie.
Yeah.
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 The Robin Williams Hook movie. Peter Pan movie.
You've seen Peter Pan, right? Charlie?
Of course. I just don't
The
remember.
little boy
I don't
who
remember
flies
specifically
around?
what they're.
Well, they got like a whole. Well, they just got like a whole like civilization set up on their little Lost Boy island.
Yeah, and it's all little kids.
It's all
and
little
they
kid
have
technology.
imaginary food, remember?
Yeah. And so that's what I'm picturing
And
these kids
Robin
have been
Williams
doing.
has to remember how to be a kid.
Yeah. James, did you watch this recently or something?
No, I just
Do you now
I don't
watch
know.
this every night,
Walk in the
Jim?
back.
Yeah, right. It's just that's on the heavy rotation for you. I'm surprised. I'm
Yeah,
just I'm
it's part of
just
my
impressed to
rotation.
remember I'm impressed to remember the plot so well. But yeah, that's what I'm picturing this whole situation as with all these kids. Just using the technology and doing their thing. I don't think there's any adults there.
Curious.
I feel like they would
Yeah.
have said that too when they kind of got captured.
Well, they said they didn't have any elders left.
Yeah.
And they're not really educated into anything. Like
No, they really
John
made
is
it. They really drove that
constantly-
home.
Yeah. Yep.
What's a week? What's a year?
Yeah, I want to know if the book. I don't know. I want to go along with the book, and I want to know what the book will tell me. I did again research outside the book, and I was like, oh, okay.
Also, on the topic of abandoned children that have paramilitary skills, I pictured Dr. Halsey like as that meme where it's the black dude behind the tree like licking his lips and rubbing his hands. Like as soon as she gets her fucking hands on those kids, oh my god,
Oh man.
that is fresh meat.
Might be too old. I think they said they were like, yeah,
No, they're like
that's
10.
What, 4 years too old now? Yeah.
3 or 4 years, but are we really going to be picking and choosing our child super soldiers? That beggars can't be choosers out here.
There's
He'd
still
be free
multiple
orphans for the
old.
10. Yeah,
Low
and
risk,
It
high
will be
reward.
cheap.
they've
It'll
clearly
be
been.
cheaper and easier. They don't have to make clones. They don't have to convince children
Yeah.
or parents that
Oh my
their
god, this
children
is
die.
such a
right?
absolute jackpot.
They don't have any parents. You fucking need income.
The whole planet is a honey hole, man. Just
Just
full
bring
of-
their stupid little spider with them.
Millions in clones.
Yeah. And they've already literally been training to survive for years and years and years. So just because they're 10 now, they've been on that, living in their crazy little kid society for how many years?
Crazy little kid society.
Yeah. Having to figure out how to survive. So they got some skills already. I don't think they're really that far behind where Halsey would want them to be at that point.
You're saying next generation of Spartans here, right here.
Spartan 3s, yeah. It's going to be the
There's
Lost Boys.
there's a little passage that I want to read. It's reference to when John sees there's a bunch of holes in the pressure boiler, because when they were fighting the kids on the spider machine, this is what John says, right? John had no idea why the engineer capable of building a coal-fired engine, wouldn't use it for direct power rather than adding an intermediate step and using it to charge the vehicle's batteries of an electric vehicle. But the mountain runners had been built by an extinct alien species, and as was evident with humanity's all-out war with the Covenant, aliens had their own logic. So I think that puts to bed, like, the spider thing is definitely like something made by some alien.
Yeah, it's like whatever, not Covenant, not human tech.
That's
Yeah.
a good pickup, good quote. It sounds so on the nose though. Like, how would John know that this was alien technology? I guess I don't know.
I mean, he knows what is the most advanced human technology. I mean, he is the most advanced human technology. He's like wearing the most advanced
I guess
human
that's
technology.
fair. So simply because they know it's out here, it can't be of human origin, even though all the parts and pieces seem like it is, right? Coal burners to charge batteries. It sounds pretty primitive human sort of stuff,
Oh, sure.
Interesting.
I hope they go deeper into that.
I'm sure they will. This sounds like
Definitely.
we're scratching the surface of something bigger here, especially with this planet, right? Good pickups.
So I'm kind of just one last thing I thought of with this chapter. I'm kind of surprised I mean, I know John's very skeptical of these kids, but I'm kind of surprised he's like, "Hey, Kelly, just hide them," and then like trash their spider machine, and then like come catch up with us instead of like trying to use these kids as to try to get the other spider machines to kids to ally with them. I just didn't understand that. It's like might as well have more help than anything, right?
Remember how Colonel Crowther learned that the Spartans were like 15 years old, and he's like, hell no, they're not going to fight. Maybe John is like passing the buck, and he's like, I might be 15, but you're only 10. So you definitely can't fight.
That's a good point. I forgot how close in age they were. They are really like they would be like passing each other in the hallways at school potentially. Some of the older
Yeah. John the bully's
abandoned kids.
pushing them.
John could have been the one breaking their arm. Yeah,
Yeah.
Get out of here,
Slaps the-
freshman.
Slaps the books out of his
Shoving
hand.
him into the
this is my king, or this is my hill.
right.
So I don't. I think he. Well, I guess building on that, Robbie. There was another part, same section there where John was like, this Lena girl is like withholding information. He can tell that like there's something else going on. She's not spilling the beans quite yet, right? So maybe it's a factor of like we can't even trust these fucking Mad Max kids yet, you know?
All right. I mean, the kids are injured and the spider machine's not working anymore. So it's like they still got to do their mission and they're not going to carry the kids to the Covenant ship, where they're going to be fighting the Covenant.
Yeah, no,
So
they
it's-
can't take
I
him.
think the most like pragmatic thing is like, all right, leave these injured kids here, let the Marines find them, and let's keep on going with the mission.
Yep, good point.
But I like how it's just like they both don't trust each other. The kids don't trust the Spartans. Blue team doesn't trust the kids all the way. The kids definitely want to get off the planet, but they're suspicious of John, lying to them or trying to trick them. So they're gonna have to like build trust so they can get off this planet altogether.
Yeah,
Bunch of
I
kids not trusting kids.
still want to know where the hell the parents went. Makes no sense to me.
The kids ate them.
They went
Maybe?
out for
I mean-
cigarettes and never came back.
What's
Yeah.
that word? What's the word the
cigarettes
kids were
and milk.
corner
using
store and never came back.
for
What were
when
you saying about-
somebody gets killed? There's a
Cooked.
word that the kids
Cooked.
use when
Cooked.
what?
I'm pretty sure it's cooked.
I think it is
Yeah.
cooked. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I
So
mean,
they're just Gen Z kids. There's Gen Alpha that says cooked.
I mean, that might. I mean, if these people were, they are stranded on this planet. Like, maybe when someone dies, you do cook them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's a good point, James. Shit.
Oh,
Ooh.
dude, that's dark.
Nice.
Yep.
Brutal. Absolutely
Yeah.
brutal.
I mean,
I think John did say, like, does cook mean more than just kill? And, oh, I wasn't thinking that kind of cook. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the kids look like they're starving, basically, from their description.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do say they're malnourished, right?
Yeah, they say like their faces are like gaunt.
Yeah. Damn, cannibal kids.
Well, anybody got anything else they want to say about this reading?
I feel like I had one or two more jokes about the kids, and I can't think of them now.
These chapters were bussin'. No cap.
But
On God?
Chat, they're cooked. On God.
dude, the generation we're speaking to doesn't even know what Halo is. So
But they can learn. They could be the ones that
they
teach them.
can. They
Yeah,
can.
right?
Not the episode, everyone, listeners. We're gonna have ChatGPT help us translate this into Gen
Let's
Z
not be
lingo.
the old fucking losers here that think we need to do that.
Yeah, no, let's plant some trees for the future generations here, dude.
All you
Yeah,
Gen
all inclusive,
Alphas,
age inclusive.
no, you're cool. You're bet. Yeah,
Play some Halo.
You're
Cool kids
goat.
play Halo.
You're goading.
Yep.
We could slay
Riz up
and all
Cortana.
that.
Oh, man, we lost them all by now.
Gone.
Put away your
Slay
Roblox.
was stupid. Slay's stupid millennial
I don't know.
slang. Slays.
So I
Literally
slays
Googled-
us, dude.
I googled Gen Z
Plays
slang
out.
guy,
Hey,
and that's one of them. So
dude, ChatGPT helped me out. I took the last paragraph of what we were talking about. So blue team's still crushing on the busted up spider crawler the kids were using. Total DIY vibes. Their little squad leader, the savage girl named Lena, keeps throwing shade at John, who low-key thinks she's got ODST potential if she ever aged up. John plays it smart and gets her to spill that her ragtag squad is also heading to the Covenant frigate. That's not really Gen Z. Give me more
What is-
Gen Z lingo. But of course, the spider crawler decides to full send into a breakdown classic. And make things even worse, Comet ships are already zooming in on a freight. Anyways, it did okay at the start. It lost it at the end.
It tried.
It
Good
tried.
attempt, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Please don't cook
you're
me.
talking to future Cortana right there. So
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
That's
It asked
literally
me if
gonna
I wanted to
happen.
meme it up more. Here, I'll ask it to meme it up more.
Well,
So,
I think
boom. Blue team is still hitching a ride on this janky child-operated spider mech looking like it came straight out of Wish. The crew's being chauffeured by a squad of literal children. The ringleader, a girl named Lena. Main character energy and zero respect for authority. She out here beefing with Master Chief like it's a group project, and he didn't carry the whole war on his back. John being the Giga Chad strategist he is, gaslights lightly. That's a weird sentence. Lena into admitting her little Lost Boys squad. Hey, there's a Lost Boys reference, Jim.
Yeah,
Her little Lost Boys squad is also heading towards the Covenant frigate. John's like, "Excuse me, that's our boss level, sweetie." Then karma hits. The spider crawler breaks down like it just saw its axe. Mechanical death noises. Blue team now has to YOLO the rest of the way on foot. But wait, plot twist. The Covenant ships are already zooming in like they smell drama. John looks at the clock like, we don't got time for this side quest. He hits Kelly with the hide the kids and bounce strat. Everyone else, foot soldiers down, radio off, silent running, whole squad dipped into stealth mode like it's a group chat after someone drops a hot take.
That was perfect.
Boom, there you go.
Nice.
Thanks,
That was-
ChatGPT. Dude, it has emojis and everything for me right here.
All right.
Can you paste it in the chat later? I gotta
Yeah,
see
I'll
emojis.
paste it.
Emojis probably make it 100 times better.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
with our discussion cooked, it's time for war. We move on to our Season 2 PvP tournament. But before we battle, please take a moment to hear from one of our great sponsors. This episode's match, well, slipstream travel is great, but awakening from that cryogenic stasis can be a real pain. The muscle aches aren't fun, and even mentally, it seems tough to get out of that fog. Well, fight back with Rejuverol. The proprietary recovery drink is packed with over 40 different vitamins and minerals to get you fighting like a Spartan. But recovering from cryo sleep isn't the only way to benefit from the super drink. Other great uses include recovering from the flu, getting a non-caffeine energy boost, rehydrating from Griffball, or just getting the essential nutrients your body craves. With so many delicious flavors, who's to argue adding it to your diet? Now try Rejuverol Spartan with a crisp green apple taste that contains extra protein and iron to get you revitalized faster and back into battle. Whenever you're feeling down, get back into the fight with Rejuverol.
This product is not FDA tested. Do not use on kids.
Only UNSC tested.
Only UNSC tested.
Sergeant Avery Johnson approved. So, with that, thank you, Rejuverol. Here's our recap of Season 2, Match 11. And only at 11 episodes in, we finally had a full roster of combatants. Will picked the match, and we fought it out on a Sniper Slayer match played on Zealot on Halo Reach. If you give the tournament leader a scoped weapon in tight quarters, well, you get an increased lead in the championship. Jane books another victory in the tournament. Standings after our 11th match are as followed. James with a strong 42. Will following up in second with 30. Charlie with 27. Me, myself, Robby with 25. Jim with 16. And Tom, who we're hoping makes a surprise appearance in the last final minutes, with 13. So, what are we playing next? Let's ask the Wheel of Fortune's best friend, Will. Where will we be battling?
I'm sorry. I thought you were picking the round for this week.
It's
The
the
Wheel of
Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, I am so sorry. I did not have one prepared.
It's not the Robby of Fortune or the.
I
Jim
literally
of
checked the
Fortune or
document. I thought I saw your name was picking the thing. We're gonna play SWAT on Reflection in Halo Reach.
Ooh, SWAT.
All right.
Can we play Reflection?
Let's chalk up another win for James.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's do countdown. Let's do
Reach
countdown.
countdown.
Is there a desert map in Reach?
Ooh.
One that's Dune style.
There's Powerhouse, yeah. Powerhouse, but it's a bigger map, but that's okay. You can do Powerhouse.
All right, sorry. Will, where are we playing exactly?
Free for all SWAT on Powerhouse in Halo Reach.
Perfect. Well, Confucius say, those who listen but don't follow will languish on a path to oblivion. As always, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at The Great Journey Pod. We're on most major podcast platforms, and we greatly appreciate your likes, your comments, and your follow on these platforms to help boost our visibility. Netherop cast-offs, are we picturing Hook or more like Lord of the Flies? Let us know your thoughts. Feel free to give us your input on the media, the topics we discussed, and even your ideas on how to improve or what we should cover next. We welcome you to join the journey. If you feel like supporting our show, you could also find us on Patreon at patreon.com/The Great Journey Pod. Your contribution is greatly appreciated. With it, we could offset costs of hosting platforms, editing softwares, music subscriptions, and of course, the actual media, all of which are the things that allow this project to keep on progressing. We aspire to be an interesting, thoughtful, and fun contribution to the Halo community. As a TGJ Patreon member, you will receive a shout out live on one of our episodes, and should you choose, we will answer a question of yours on air as well. You could ask something like, aside from Halo, what is the video game you are best at, guys? Could be the very favorite too if you're a little stuck.
This one's a really tough one for me because I'm constantly just playing new games, so I'm never able to really get really good at any. But I feel like if there would have to be maybe a game that I'm really good at that's not Halo, it would probably have to be the first Dead Space game.
Okay.
It's a single player game, but I feel like I'm really good at it. Love playing it. Honorable mention is the first Last of Us. Not the remake, but it had a multiplayer mode called Factions, and I was really good at that. So those are my
Nice.
two answers right there.
Good answers. Good answers. I'll follow up really quick. Back in the day, probably around the same time I was playing Halo, I was really good at Battlefield. That'd be a
Which
follow up to
Battlefield?
that. 1942 was like my go-to, but then like Battlefield 2, I was really good at. I don't know. I haven't played Battlefield in a bit. Lately, if I were to not play Halo, it would probably end up being Fortnite. I'm decent at that. Like maybe above average decent, but no, nothing too crazy there.
Well, for myself, gonna stray a little bit away from like any gun games, and I kind of revisited, I don't know, a year or so ago, N64 game by the name of Mario Golf. And man, that game was ruthless as a kid, but some reason just kind of later years kind of figured things out, and I found I'm like really good at it. So it's a fun game because it actually makes me think like I'm actually a good golfer when in real life I'm not.
That's good. You could have probably beat people at the U.S. Open this past weekend, probably if you were Wii golfing.
Oh, absolutely. Oakmont's got nothing on him. It'd be easy.
Um, I would say the game that I was spending a lot of time with, and I would say I was pretty proficient at least when I was like playing a lot, was the original Titanfall. I
Oh, dude, you wouldn't stop talking about Titanfall.
I was crazy about it.
Yeah.
I like leveled up all the way, and I was trying to get all the achievements and stuff, and like any game, you just fall off after a while. But I definitely hung on to that game the longest. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of people that like their servers are dead right now. Basically, Titanfall 2 was good, but by that point, I wasn't playing as much. So
That's a game that I got really good at, Titanfall 2.
yeah, we should game again. That well,
Yeah, anytime.
and that leaves you.
The last shooter I was good at was probably Modern Warfare 2, like what is it, 12 years ago. But if I had to pick a video game, it'd have to be iRacing, my racing game. I
Yeah,
just
we
sit
all
there for
like
hours and crank
that's a
that out. That's all I
Nice.
did.
that is the correct answer.
Yeah,
for
that's all
you
I
here.
got.
You play
That-
iRacing?
Yeah, I just ground out thousands of hours into that.
You have like a whole setup, like with
I
a
did. I
racing
had
wheel?
a whole racing rig and a wheel and a triple monitor setup.
Oh,
and
dude,
and
that's
a
so
rumbler.
cool.
But I sold that last summer. I'm going to build one again. I think this winter. Get a
Oh.
fresh setup.
Nice.
I needed a break from it though. I was getting way too attached to my rating. I'm getting really upset at stupid virtual crashes. So I needed to find my center.
Just gotta send it
Yeah,
right up the inside.
right up the inside. I took it way too seriously. So I'm going to try without taking it so seriously. But we'll see how long that lasts.
Nice. Well, we journey on. Next episode, we continue our read of Halo Oblivion, covering chapters 13 through 17. As always, thank you for joining us this evening, and we hope to see you back here for the next installment of The Great Journey.
A great
journey.
Hey, this is Jim, the worst gamer and your favorite co-host on The Great Journey. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you want to connect with us, you can find us on most podcast platforms, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at The Great Journey Pod. And if you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/The Great Journey Pod. Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next chapter of The Great Journey.
I wonder if he can hear us. Say all the crap you want to say about Robby right now.
Robby, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Jesus, you kidding me?
Oh,
How much
there
of
we
that did
go.
you actually catch?
Literally none of
dude.
it.
We just got
Oh
now.
my god, I was
Welcome
cruising.
back, Robby.
We
Dude, I
did
said that.
fucking
I
knew it.
literally was
Damn
like,
it.
James did say that. Fuck.
God
We-
damn
we,
it.
we lost you like
literally right
Like-
after we said the great
Yeah.
journey.
Yep.
Like, you're like, we are such right.
Okay, well, I'm gonna
Fuck.
swap to my phone briefly because I don't know what the fuck my laptop's doing.
All right, you guys ready for
All right, let's rip it
try
again.
2? God damn it. It's a shame because that was a perfect run I had going on.
Fuck.
It was easily a kill-tacular.